Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline for Pixie Dust PhD. I am filming this on September 10th, 2022, so this is the month 31 creator update. In addition to the monthly and lifetime analytics, we will talk just a little bit about a few Disney announcements and then just some stuff going on in my life, so stay tuned. All right, so I'm going to attempt to get this up and posted and captions corrected and everything on September 11th, Sunday, so we're filming one day ahead of when we normally would. Stats won't run the full month, they will be one day short. Additionally, D23 is currently going on, so I'm filming this on Saturday morning. The Friday panels have happened, the Saturday ones have not. Saturday, I think, is Star Wars and Marvel, so I'm sure there's going to be a ton of big announcements there, but I'm not a huge Star Wars or Marvel person, so I don't think there will be anything I would necessarily want to talk about with you all. Tomorrow, or once this is posted today, is the Disney Parks panel, so I suspect there will be a lot of news there. You can definitely interact with me on that in the comments of this video, or perhaps on the community tab if there's something big enough I feel needs to be posted, or of course you can @me on Twitter and Instagram. But speaking of D23, let's go over the news that I do know about present Jacqueline on September 10th. They dropped trailers for Disenchanted and the new live-action Little Mermaid, and I was hesitant about both of these because obviously Enchanted is pretty much a beloved movie, I would say. I think, its fan base is quite strong. It's really wonderful. Following that up is tricky. And same with, The Little Mermaid is obviously such a classic, and doing a live action adaptation, like, in my opinion, those haven't gone super well in the past. But both these trailers have me actually genuinely pretty dang excited, so I am looking forward to those for sure. Additionally, they announced that Pixar is going to be releasing an Inside Out 2, I believe in summer of 2024 is the plan. Inside Out is one of my favorite Pixar movies, and I'm not generally pro sequel, I would say. I tend to prefer the original content more. That being said, Inside Out, I think the premise of the original movie leaves so much room for growth for a sequel. They could develop a lot of really interesting plot points, so I am stoked about this. Obviously, we have to wait to see what more details will be, but the fact that it's even happening is like, I am just buzzing right now. Like I said, I don't know what's happening at the parks panel, which is probably going on like as this is going live, as this video is getting posted, but hopefully we've got some good news. Ideally, they won't announce a Tron opening date or season, some time frame when Tron might be open. That would be cool. I suspect we'll hear more about the Splash Mountain retheme, etc. Sort of a left field wish I have, which I'm sure we won't hear about, is there's that whole Municiberg area in Hollywood Studios that is just so underutilized. It used to have some meet and greets, I think, and now it's just like dead. I'm not saying they need to develop a whole new ride and put it in there or anything, but it'd be nice if that area had anything going on, really. Anyway, what are your hopes and dreams for the D23 Parks panel? Or, by the time you're watching this, you've probably seen the Parks panel news, so let me know what you think. The other Disney news I wanted to talk about was the notion of a membership model. We have no details about this. It's possible they move that direction in the future. I think Bob Chapek did sort of indicate that they were exploring that. If I can find the direct quote, I'll leave it in the description below. But basically, the idea that Disney is more than just one facet of the company. You've got the parks, you have media, etc. So somehow linking those things together, presumably, and making it more of a membership model. On the surface, without any actual details about how this would work, I'm actually pretty excited about that notion. Disney's one of the few things I do consistently spend money on, especially when you count media and parks combined, that doesn't have any sort of loyalty or rewards program. I suppose there's Disney Movie Insiders, but I mean, that's not worth very much. When you think about most other big hotel chains or even like airline carriers, the more you use them, you rack up points or status or something. And even Disney Cruise Line does this, as is typical for cruise lines, where the more you sail with them, the better benefits you get. If they could combine all of that in some sort of membership model, so your on-site resort stays, your day tickets to the parks, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney, your Disney Plus subscription, and whatever else I'm forgetting, I think it'd be really cool, honestly, to be rewarded for your loyalty. Gaming point systems is fun for me. It's definitely like a math nerdy thing, but I think a lot of you also enjoy doing that, and it's a way to make things more economical usually. Wouldn't it be great to be able to afford to book like Port Orleans and then upgrade a couple of those nights to Grand Floridian if you've got 7 years of trips worth of points saved up and you could apply that to your 8th year trip? I don't know. Again, there's no details on this. It's still like totally just a thought bubble as far as we know. They may have genuine plans developed inside the company, but that's not been shared publicly. What do you think about a membership type model for the Walt Disney Corporation, though? Obviously, without more details, it's equally easy to imagine a million pitfalls, but I think in principle, I would like to probably see it go this direction, and I do think it could actually be beneficial for the fans. Next, let's move away from Disney news and more just chat about me. Recently, my partner and I got back from France. We went toward the end of August, and we did do Paris as well as a little bit in Disneyland Paris, so there will be some content coming to the channel. If you want to see more of the Paris stuff, I'm posting that over on my personal channel that's Trying to Have a Life. I will link that in the description below. As of today, the videos that I've posted thus far are our business class experience flying to France on Air France from the Washington, D.C. area, and then also the room tour of the hotel we stayed at in Paris. I'm planning to eventually put together sort of a video of a bunch of the foods we ate, separately a bunch of the sort of sweets or snacks that we ate, and maybe a few other things. I do think I will probably post a using the Paris Metro video over on that channel, and then eventually I will probably post a short video here about getting to Disneyland Paris using public transit and sort of reference that video, because there's a lot of details about the Metro that I think are helpful for people with travel anxiety and like want to know what they're getting into, but aren't necessarily exactly pertinent to just getting to Disneyland Paris. But anyway, if you want to see Paris content, check out my other channel. Additionally, talking about content, I've run into some issues as of late. So in the past 6 weeks or so, I'd say my ability to edit videos in the free software I use, which traditionally has been HitFilm Express, has been fine, but exporting has been difficult. So prior to that time, I'd, edit the video and hit export, and yes, it might take a while, but I could leave, I could do chores, I could go on a walk, whatever, come back, and it would be done. The past 6 weeks or so prior to leaving for Paris, that really wasn't the case. I could edit just fine, but then when I went to export, it would always run into random errors. It would say like bad allocation. Some of the errors seemed real about like my graphics card not being good enough. And then others were just like, oh, sorry, we ran into an error and had to quit. So it's been really, really difficult to create content. At some point in that more recent timeline, I noticed that there was an update. So I did end up updating. It went from HitFilm Express to HitFilm, the free version. And I've just had so many problems with HitFilm. Like I can't even edit in it now. I tried to do like a 10-second short and all of the vertical videos had a watermark on them, even when I downgraded them to 720p, which is nothing. So I've been battling with this a lot and going back and forth with the HitFilm customer service, basically like, hey, this has never been a problem before, especially once I upgraded to HitFilm out of HitFilm Express. Like now I can barely even edit, much less export, and they don't really have answers for me. I am guessing though, based on some of the information on the website, that the upgrade to HitFilm upgraded the minimum system requirements, which I don't think my laptop quite meets. I've had that laptop since 2017. I got it in graduate school when I had fellowship money to buy equipment, and I did buy a gaming laptop because I had like $2,000 of fellowship money to spend, so I did buy something higher end. And I think like it's fine, but it is 5 years old. Even before I was running into these problems with editing content for the channel, I had thought, oh, my laptop's probably getting a little old. Sometime in the next 2 years or so, I'll look at upgrading. And in that, I knew I probably wanted to switch to a desktop. Prior to moving to the Washington, D.C. area, I always did have a desktop at home, and then I had a laptop I used at graduate school. When we moved to Durham, we tried to just pare down as much as possible. So my desktop then was really, really old, so we just got rid of it, and then I stuck with just the one laptop. I don't really have a real need for a laptop. I got it in graduate school because we were not provided work computers, even though we were working for the dang school. So, I needed something to be able to work while I was in the lab and then bring home if I wanted to work on figures or data or whatever at home. So a laptop there made sense. In general, though, I think I prefer desktops mostly for cost reasons, because you can get sort of, if you're looking at the same specs, a laptop is going to cost more than a desktop with the same specs, because the laptop, of course, has to be portable and thin and whatnot. So for the money you spend, I think you get more bang for your buck if you buy a desktop, especially when we're talking about something like a gaming desktop versus a gaming laptop. That tangent a little bit aside, so we came back from Paris. Things were still going very poorly in terms of my ability to edit. And so I basically just decided like, well, this is more rushed than I wanted. I probably ideally would have waited like 6 months and done a lot of research on different gaming desktops and then waited for a sale or something, but whatever. So I purchased a desktop. Now I do work from home more or less full time, and I do have a work laptop now issued by work that I have to use. So I need to be able to switch between the two of them. Switching between my work laptop and my personal laptop was easy. I just have a dock station, you move the dock in and out, blah, blah, blah. Switching between a gaming desktop and a work laptop, though, is not quite as simple. I gather some docks are able to do that with ease, but not the one that I own. So in addition to the desktop, I also bought a dual monitor KVM, and I just set all of that up literally yesterday. So this will be the first video I'm going to edit on the new desktop using the KVM, and we'll see how it goes. If things don't dramatically improve, I am still within my return window for the desktop and the KVM, so I'll probably ship them back and then have to start over on the drawing board in terms of what I'm going to do for content creation. And obviously, I think the channel is a little bit of an impetus for me to buy a new desktop, but I was thinking about it anyways, and I have a lot of anxiety about spending large sums of money. That's not new to you, probably, if you've been around the channel for a while, so I don't feel great about this, but hobbies also cost money for the most part. A lot of hobbies aren't free, and if it's something that brings me joy, so be it. I'm not gonna lie though, being close to 1,000 subscribers and feeling stunned, oh, I can't edit anymore, I can't export, I can't upload videos, but I'm so close to, quote unquote, the finish line, or at least the stated goal, definitely helped me be nope, we're buying it, we're doing it. Too bad, anxiety, we're gonna shove you down. Separately, also, while we were in France, I noticed that my point and shoot camera, so I use a Canon PowerShot, I believe, it just doesn't seem to focus super well anymore, which is really frustrating, both for photos and video. So if/when Disneyland Paris vlogs come out, I think some of that footage might be kind of grainy, especially in dark situations, whether it's nighttime or dark rides or whatever. I don't know. I'm just disappointed because I think that camera is only a couple years old and I don't really want to replace it at this point, but we'll see how it goes. I don't think my next bigger trip that I would properly vlog is for a year, so I have some time to think about it and decide what I want, etc. And honestly, you can vlog from your phone pretty well, and I've been doing that more and more sort of at home and in the parks, but at night or in dark situations, I really hate the lens flares that pop up. I think they're super ugly, and so I would rather have an actual camera where that's not going to be a problem, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna navigate this. Essentially, I've been running into some equipment issues lately, and it's been very frustrating, and I super appreciate your patience while a lot of content has been more delayed than I would like, just because it's taking me forever just to be able to edit and upload. With that being said, I don't have plans to do this necessarily, but if in the short-term future I'm not uploading once a week, it is probably because I literally can't. But I am troubleshooting it, so hopefully everything goes well. Okay, let's go ahead and move into analytics. So for month 31, that runs from mid-August through mid-September, although I am filming this 1 day early, so it is 1 day short of full monthly stats. Here are the videos we posted in this monthly period that will count. Technically, the Genie Plus at Disneyland video was at the very last day of the prior monthly period, but given that it was only 1 day in that, most of the effects will be felt this month. Then we've got the creator update, least magical moments reflections, how I use the Hilton Aspire Amex in general, and also with a slant toward how it works pretty well at Walt Disney World in my opinion, most magical moments, then that recent trip announcement / Disneyland Paris venting session in terms of how the planning's going. And then today, on September 10th, I posted a quick recap of booking a hotel and ticket package at Disneyland Paris. Looking at the top videos in this monthly period, number 1 is the Disability Access Service explained video for Walt Disney World. I'm pleased to see this doing well. I think it's really important information, and I'm glad people are reacting positively to it. Then we've got the Disney World Advanced Dining Reservation Tips and Tricks video. That one traditionally does pretty well. Next up is actually a short of just the food we ordered at Lamplight Lounge, so funny how the food ones tend to take off more than others, at least in my experience. 4th is the tried and true PhotoPass video. 5th is that Hilton American Express credit card video. 6 and 7 are room tours. Again, the DoubleTree by Universal Orlando room tour tends to do pretty well. 8th is least magical moments. Then we've got the Disneyland offsite hotel room tour and the Disneyland Paris trip announcement and planning venting session video. Of these top videos, 4 were posted this month. I'm always really happy when videos do well right when I drop them. For example, the 10th video is the Disneyland Paris trip announcement and planning chat video. I only posted that 2 or 3 days ago, so it only has that much time to rack up views to count in this month's analytics, so it's nice to see that break into the top 10. Moving on to stats then, for views this month, we got just under 6,500 views in the month, so this is worse than last month, but still over 6,000. Super happy about that. And this came from over 4,200 unique viewers, which is more than last month, and honestly, anytime I get more than 4,000 unique viewers in a month feels like a gem. Of those viewers, 408 of you were returning. Thanks so much. It's great to have the stat back over 400. That's only happened a handful of times. I super appreciate you being here, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, ringing that bell icon to turn on notifications, and sharing with friends. These views from unique and returning viewers resulted in 634 watch hours this month, which isn't quite a record, but it's super up there for me. And the channel got over 86,000 impressions this month. Again, a little bit worse than last month, but a very good month for me. In month 31, 41.5% of the impressions came from YouTube, which I actually had to check multiple times because that is incredibly high. It's never been this high, a new record. And I honestly didn't believe it the first couple of times I saw that figure, so that's awesome. And the watch time from those not subscribed is now at 75%, which is down from last month, which is good. So we did better this month than last month in terms of watch time from those not subscribed. Overall, in month 31, we got 43 new subscribers. It's definitely not a record month. It's not my strongest showing, but I will say I'm pleased with that. It's more than one a day, so I will absolutely take it. Moving away from YouTube for a minute, over on Twitter, I have 981 followers and I am following 1,167 accounts. And on Instagram, I have 380 followers and I'm following 554 accounts. Hopefully we'll eclipse 1,000 followers on Twitter soon-ish, and I will say that Instagram tends to get ignored, but since coming back from Disneyland Paris, I am posting a little bit more, so happy to be engaging on there. For lifetime analytics of the channel, we're now at over 118,000 total views, which has resulted in over 9,800 watch hours. This is coming from almost 1.4 million impressions, with 29.6 of those coming from YouTube. And I will say this was almost a full percent bump from the lifetime stat here last time. And usually it's only like a 0.1 or 0.2% bump, so that was very awesome. Watch time from those not subscribed is 71.5%. It's a little bit increased from last month, but I mean, we just hover in this 69 to 72% area for the most part. And the channel is now at 988 subscribers total. So reflecting a little bit on this month versus last month, we did have less views than last month, but we still had more watch hours and the percent view duration was increased. And even though we had less total impressions, the impressions from YouTube was way up, so that was awesome. And watch time from those not subscribed was also better this month than last month. And we did get less new subscribers this month than last month, but they were both strong showings for my channel personally. And looking at the lifetime stats through this month, I'm also super happy about it, honestly. We are close to 120,000 total views. We are close to 10,000 watch hours. View duration lifetime was better this month than lifetime last month. We're close to 1.4 million impressions. Impressions from YouTube went up almost a full percentage point, which is a pretty big change for just 1 month's worth of data. Watch time from those not subscribed is something I think I'll always struggle with, but it wasn't dramatically worse lifetime this month than lifetime last month, so it is what it is. And we're at 988 subscribers, so, you know, well, 1,000 is there. We're getting very close. I think next month we'll hit a lot of milestones, including 1,000 subscribers and probably 10,000 total watch hours, which is just like, I am very excited to see this hard work come to fruition in these stats. Looking to the future for the month 32 content. So posted on September 10th, which is technically the very last day of month 31, but we'll see the stats basically count in month 32, is that Disneyland Paris hotel and ticket package booking video. Then we'll have this video, the creator update, and then we will do another look in at Disney Vacation Club 7-month booking availability aimed at March of 2023. We'll do a pack with me for Disneyland Paris as well as a trip trailer. Then there'll be the Disneyland trip cost breakdown video, which I think I've promised for a couple of these monthly creator updates in a row now, but I've just been pushing it back to slot in some more relevant content or like more timely content, basically. This can get posted whenever and it is what it is versus like, you know, with Disneyland Paris stuff, I kind of want to post that sooner rather than later. If my new equipment works, we'll get the travel/arrival day vlog for Disneyland Paris. And then sort of similar to that Disneyland trip cost video, I do have this video of my partner and I talking about our favorite Walt Disney World quick service places for snacks and for meals that I've just kind of been pushing along. Like it could have been posted probably 6 weeks ago, but it keeps getting moved to make room for more timely content. Then looking past month 32 and further into the future, there'll be just a bunch of Disneyland Paris stuff. We've got an offsite hotel, we've got an onsite hotel, and vlogs, of course. Then I think I'll try to answer some of your questions. So if you do have questions about Disneyland Paris, please leave those in the comments down below. I am planning on making a video about transit in terms of getting to Disneyland Paris. It's going to be from an American's point of view, so I'm probably not going to touch on all the ways that UK folks can get to and from Disneyland Paris. But yeah, I hope you find it helpful. I'll probably also do a short video about PhotoPass at Disneyland Paris because it is just different from the American parks. If you have other questions about Disneyland Paris, definitely let me know and I'll try to get to those too. My partner and I filmed a video about, you know, rude guests at Disney and things that really are pet peeves for us and don't be this person. Then there's some DVC content, again, I've been promising you for a while. The Old Key West for Saratoga Springs video is filmed, but again, I've had all these issues with editing, so hopefully now I can edit and upload it. The not filmed, but a long-standing idea I've had is to compare getting a 2-bedroom versus 2 studios, so I need to put that together. It's literally just an idea at this point. There's not even a script yet. And I've recently been getting a lot of questions about one-time use points for Disney Vacation Club, so I might make a quick video about that because I do think it's fairly straightforward once you just lay the facts out. That's all I got. Hopefully the next time one of these comes out, we are celebrating 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 watch hours and my equipment working and everything going super swell. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me. I am truly so appreciative. If you're into college football, good luck this season. And if I'm less responsive to you asking me questions on YouTube or Twitter or wherever on Saturdays, that's because I'm watching college football. I hope the rest of your day is magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.